Hello, hello, my name is Rachel and I'm here tonight with my Day 8 Merry Bookmas video. Today it's all about favorite classic books. My first favorite classic is A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. I love this book. I think it is wonderful. I think it's got everything that you need. It's got a little mystery, a little suspense, a little historical fiction, some romance, some feels. It's got it all. I love this book. My number 2 favorite classic book is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I love this story. I love every combination of the story. I love every pretty much rendition of the story that they make, kind of modernized. Basically any trope where it's, two characters that don't get along at first and then gradually they fall in love. I've been thinking a lot recently, honestly, about why I like this kind of setup, and I think it's because it's the opposite of the insta-love. You really understand by the end of these types of books why they like each other, because they start out with all the negatives. They really don't like each other, but then as the characters kind of grow in the book, you see all these wonderful characteristics that's making the characters fall in love. Unlike when they just tell you, oh, boom, they're in love, and they just are soulmates and they love each other forever. With this trope of the not liking each other at first and gradually falling in love, you really get to kind of fall in love with the characters yourself gradually. So any version of Pride and Prejudice out there, I'm going to be into because I think it's amazing. And I love the Keira Knightley movie. I watch it all the time. So that's probably my favorite version, although I have not seen the Colin Firth version, and I know a lot of people like that. So that might be on my to-do list for 2016. My third favorite classic book is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I think this is it's a classic for a reason. It's a great story. I love the courtroom aspect. I think the beginning can be a little bit slow. I think we could cut out some of those things and it would be just as good. But the courtroom, once you get to the courtroom, I'm in love. I love To Kill a Mockingbird. I think it's amazing. And I love the movie version with Gregory Peck as well. Next is The Great Gatsby, and this is one that really grew on me. The first time I read it, I didn't get it. I didn't really like it. I watched the movie with Robert Redford, and I thought, it's okay. I kind of like it a little bit better now. Then I read it again a little bit later, and I thought, I like it more. I get it a little bit more. I think I connected a little bit more with the characters. I felt a little bit more for the characters. So I liked it a little bit better, but it still wasn't one of my favorites. I still didn't really get why it was people's favorite book. Then I saw the Leonardo DiCaprio version, and I don't know what it was about that, but it just clicked. I mean, just the love and the willingness to do whatever he can to get the lady that he's in love with, it just really resonated, and I read it again. Loved the book. So I would definitely put it on my favorite classics now at this point. I really think it's such a great story. My 5th book is probably actually not 5th on my list favorite-wise, but it just happens to be 5th on the list that I wrote them down, and that is The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. I love this book. It's the best, revenge plot ever. It's so amazing because I don't think you anticipate it. Most of the time when you think of classics, you think of, the old English, they're sitting in the tea room and nobody's really doing anything. I mean, this has a lot of action, a lot of plot. I mean, it's amazing. It really surprised me when I read it, and I've recommended it to a student in my library recently, and he also loved it. So I just love that we can share that with students, especially young people who don't seem to be into classic type things, older things. They want kind of instant satisfaction, and he was able to sit down and enjoy it. I just think that speaks volumes for this book. Next is Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. I, again, love this story. I've seen different movie versions of it, and of course, Leonardo DiCaprio again, probably my favorite version. I like the story. I think it's inspired so many tales, and it's one that is so commonly known. I don't know how it could not be on a favorite classics list. It's just such a great story. Oh, it's so great. It's wonderful. Next on my list, again, is probably not actually number 7 if I put them in order of my favorites, but I love A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare. It's probably my favorite William Shakespeare play, and it's probably my favorite play ever. I love it. I say great too much, so I'm trying to think of other adjectives, but it is just fabulous. I love the fantasy element, kind of the dream element. I love that Again, it's kind of like the trope of the wrong people kind of loving each other. I think it's wonderful. It's got everything again. I think it's got some adventure and some suspense and some love, and I think it's wonderful. Again, it's great. And lastly, I'm going to throw a little Frances Hodgson Burnett on us, which is A Little Princess. I think it's such a cute tale. I've read this a couple times in my life, and every time I like it. I've seen movie versions that I like. It's always a good time. So I would definitely add that to my list to round out my favorite classics. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow with a new video. Bye!